Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for Symphogear Season 3, Episode 3. So, last time, I want to thank the good people over at Discord, on my Discord. Check that out if you're interested. Good chance for me to plug it. Link is in the description below. Check it out if you want to, come in and chat and keep it spoiler-free the best you can. Well, not the best you can. Keep it spoiler-free, or else I'll remove you. But yeah, there's a spoiler chat that I don't look at if you want to talk about spoilers there with some of the other people in the Discord. All that good stuff. But thank you guys over there for, before I was able to release episode 2, I'm watching episode 3 because I need a little bit of time off for coming up here soon, doing a little bit of a vacation thingamajig. So either way, and I asked on there, last episode I had a little bit of confusion in the discussion. I was like, who is this Kine Kree they were like talking about? And it's that girl gives nicknames to a lot of people. So Kine Kree is a Yukine Chris. It's like a little combination of Yukine and Chris. So that makes a lot of sense. I was confused thinking it was going to be something more ominous than it was because of the way Miku reacted. She was like, yeah, I must have got the key somehow. But it's because they have more of a relationship with Chris being a Symphogear user, and most people don't know that. I don't even think those girls know that. So I think that's why there was that little bit of awkward tension that I sensed as being like potentially something ominous, but it was more just, I think it was just trying to cover Chris's little secret identity kind of thing going on. But yeah, so that mystery is solved. So just wanted to fill you guys in because of last episode me being a little bit confused and everything. But yeah, we had some crazy stuff. We learned that it seems like all of these other entities other than the little magic girl they're all creations made by her, from what we can tell. So yeah, very interesting. I'm curious how that works. We're learning a little bit more about this alchemy thing, seeing a little bit more of it in action, and now there's these alkanoids that can disintegrate Symphogear. So our characters are now in a bit of a tight spot where they lost their gear and they're still engaged in combat with these enemies. So what happens? We'll have to watch the episode and find out. So let's get started here, guys, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Yep, and then that got nicked. Hopefully it's not enough to destroy her gear forever. Yep, and then this chick in her crazy room. Yeah, creepy chick. She's the one in the opening that looks crazy. I didn't realize that the start of that opening is just like no music, just singing, right? I wonder how many bikes Tsubasa goes through. It does show them. I didn't notice that last time, but it does show those two girls very close to each other too. My theory was that the one evil girl and then the one with Dwerg Dane's legacy are potentially like sisters just because they look so similar. And then I just saw them back to back in the opening. Alrighty. Back to this. Oh! She was able to still create a little bit before it all faded. So they've had their gear come off before and they're able to zap their clothes back on, but because this is something different, are they not able to do that? Yeah, this is not a good situation. Oh, they just leaving? So the aim wasn't to kill them, so does that mean their gear can't be used anymore? Why leave now, if it can be used again? What was the point? Oh! Kirika! Does she have any... She's supposed to need Linker, though, right? Alright, new transformations for them. I'm guessing we're gonna get Shirabe, too. I wonder what, like, they actually see, right? This. Oh, spin to win! I love me some spin to win, baby. Alright, well, I did not factor this into my equation. Oh, hey! I guess we're not getting her transformation sequence yet. She's already transformed. If both of them are here, then who's helping other than Maria? I guess the other lady seemed like she was leaving, right? Oh, are they losing their power? Yeah. I was wondering how much they could do. Farah. Okay, so she's Farah. Okay, so I guess I went wrong in one spot. So does that mean that the other girl is Mika? Maybe. We don't know for sure yet. The one that was over with Chris. I should probably, if I was smart, I'd mark down in my notes where I put their names some identifying features so I remember which ones they are. But I didn't, and I probably won't, and then I'll regret it in the future where I'm like, oh, which one's Gari? Which one's Farah? If I forget. Ah, interesting. Those two together working on this. Yeah, they got bested. Yeah, is it broken for now? Is that her name? Was she talking in the third person when she talked about alchemy? I don't know if that's her name, though. Well, she helped save Tsubasa. Oh. Alright. What a different tone shift. What? No, you're not supposed to... Oh, never mind, okay. I still don't think you're supposed to cut like that, but she was cutting it in half. Like, the angle, I couldn't tell. I thought she was cutting down, and, you know, you're supposed to do this when you're cutting so you don't cut your fingers off, and she's, like, fisting it. but she did cut, like, in half. I find this very sexist. The song is talking about the boys don't understand how easy it is to cook it. I find it sexist that they are expected to cook it and that the guys aren't expected to know how to cook. I didn't realize beef stroganoff was a Russian dish. That's why I say you're supposed to hold your hand a certain way. Hmm. What a nice cutaway. These two? Where are they off to? Oh, okay. So was Tsubasa like in a different country when all that went down? I didn't realize that. So my theory of Hibiki possibly going to save Tsubasa was extremely far fetched because she wasn't even in Japan. The sub. Hmm. Damn. It's crazy that this ancient technology is so advanced that they don't know how to fix it. Even after all the research they've done into it. Yeah, you're not useless. It's giving the energy. So is that what powers them? Did she take some energy from that one guy she killed and gave it to? Hmm. Strongest fighter. So this is Mika, the red-haired. Wow. Okay, so they all are considered auto scorers. So I made the wrong assumption. Oh, so she's calling her Carol as well. Okay, well, that's my bad, guys. The excuse me? Oh, she was created? Okay, well, bust a hole in my sister theory. Interesting. A lot of terms. Let's say her. Okay, so she is some kind of creation. Oh. A homunculus. What is that supposed to be? It's just how Hibiki is. I mean, Carol's dolls are going around sucking the life out of people. I guess they don't fully know that they're doing that yet, right? Yep. Well, speaking of... well, more alkanoids, right? The question is do these also disintegrate people? Or do they just attack the gear? What if you fight without gear against these? I guess you don't want to find out the hard way. She's hesitating. You're gonna get your friends killed, Hibiki. What? How could you forget? I guess the gear is they say like the lyrics, like what they sing is just supposed to come to you. So is there some kind of like sentience there where it can tell Hibiki's mental state like isn't there? I wonder if there is something like, I don't know, it's interesting. That gives me like a bunch of like little theories that I'm probably thinking too deep into it, but just makes me wonder how can the relic itself like decide that it's not gonna impart its power to you, kind of thing. Like, could your sync rate have to do with your mental state? Maybe they talk about like trying to find people who are capable of wielding Symphogears and stuff like that, and they do all these like medical tests and stuff, but what if it's more of a mental thing than we think? I don't know. But and then that also leads me like the same thing. Like, is there some kind of sentience in there that can decide yes or no? Like, could you communicate with your gear somehow? Or is it just more of a sensing technology kind of thing that it can like sense her mental state and won't activate for her kind of thing? I don't know. Fascinating. All right, guys, that is it for episode 3. That one went by really fast. So we got a couple more names. We still don't know the purple-haired girl, right? Not the one that showed up here at the end, but the one that was fighting Chris, right? So we have Farah, who is the one that was fighting Tsubasa. We have Gari, which is the one that showed up at the end here with Hibiki and the girls. And then we have Miko, who is the red-haired girl that showed up, or got activated this episode. And then there's one name we're missing, so we'll have to wait for that. Also, that's my bad about Carol's name. When she showed up in the first episode, she said, like, what was it? Was it like, it was Carol something's alchemy will, like, sunder the world or whatever she said. And I just dismissed it as she's using, like the alchemy that she's using was created by this Carol blah 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 person, kind of like how Hibiki is using Gungnir. That's not her name, that's just the gear that she's using, kind of thing. So that's the way I took it, but apparently it is her name, which I think it was right at the beginning of the last episode, so if I load that up real fast. Yeah, Carol Malice Deanhelm's alchemy will shatter the world. So just the fact that, like, she spoke in the third person there is what really, like, confused me. Actually, I'll just leave that there, and I'll write that down later, the full name. But that being said, what was the name of the sword, if that's the case? There was some sword that had to do with Dwargdane. We were getting a lot of words and stuff, so I didn't even write them down. When they were talking to the young girl. Let's see. Fortunately, the data she installed did not contain the specifics of her plan. There's a couple things I want to write down here for sure. One thing I know for sure is that the Chateau de Tifalges, probably said that wrong. Give me 1 second, guys. I want to continue on and listen. And I don't want to have to try to find this again later, so... Tifalges. Okay. It's nearly complete. Yep. Which is what she plans on using to destroy the world. That is why I've come to you bearing Dwargdane's legacy. And then they ask what that is. It's a relic. Capable of thwarting the Alkanoids and Carol's alchemic powers. So I wonder who's going to wield that. Is it going to be Maria? Or, like, if they are able to make it into a gear, right? A Symphogear. A fragment of the enchanted blade Dainsleif. Enchanted blade... Dainsleif. Interesting. Okay, that's what I missed and wanted to write down. I wasn't sure if that was the same as her last name, but it is Carol's last name, but it's not. Carol's last name is Deanheim, or Deanhelm, sorry. And then Dane's Leaf, which we have Dwerg Dane's Legacy, so apparently maybe his sword is like named after him. I don't know. Anyway, we're getting a lot of words. It's kind of like last season where we had like it just kept throwing things like Goddess Zababa. We had the Frontier for a while that we didn't know what it was, and there was a few others that I had written down, and everything. But either way, so we now know that it, like, I was curious about the auto scores when they were sucking the life out of people. I talked about how I wondered if they were like, if that's how they were living so long, because back then when I thought that they were people, right? And maybe they were like a bounce situation from Bleach where they suck the life out of people in order to live forever, kind of thing. And seemingly it is kind of like that, except now we know that they are these auto score doll things, and it seems like they have to suck the life out of people in order to stay powered. And then it also seems like that that sucking of power, they refer to it as collecting memories, right? So last episode when she said collection of memories, she was considering that as, you know, sucking the life out of people in order to power her dolls, which it seems like Mika, was it? Is that what it was? Yeah, Mika seems to be their most powerful one, which took a lot of people sucking in order to get her powered up enough to move. So now she's in the equation, although she seems kind of like, you know, stiff in her movements, but I imagine she's going to go off and eat people. Or right at the end here, we had Gari eat a bunch more people, so maybe she's going to transfer more of that power to Mika, so that way she can move better. But yeah, I think like Hibiki needs to learn that these auto scores are going around killing a ton of people, like, and maybe that will help her become motivated, because obviously, I mean, since the beginning of the show we've had this problem where Hibiki doesn't want to fight people. She doesn't have to. She's always done that. When Chris first showed up, she didn't really want to fight her. She wanted to help her. You know, like, basically every arc so far, it's been Hibiki trying to help the people the best she can. But, you know, now she's in a situation where she's faced with a bunch of noise in front of her friends, and this is impacting her ability to fight. And I mean, I get the sentiment, Hibiki, but like I said during the reaction, you're gonna get your friends killed. Like, if these noise disintegrate people like the other noise do, like, all your friends are on the chopping block right now. You're the only Symphogear wielder, unless like unless the other two girls, Shirabe and Kirika, step up to, you know, activate their gear. But it seems like their health is deteriorating, and it seems like it gets worse it sounded like it gets worse every time they use their gear if they don't have the linker drug. So, like, it's all on you, Hibiki. And, you know, I mean, what's it gonna take, I wonder, for her to kind of snap out of it and everything? I'm not sure. But so we have this homunculus girl. Did they have a name for her? I don't think they did they? I don't believe they used a name. Must sneeze, though. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, so she's a homunculus. She's not a auto scorer. She doesn't have the same, like, doll-like movements and stuff like that. So she is an artificial human kind of thing made with information, like, thrown in her brain and everything. But she's also capable of, like, independent thought enough to be able to go against Carol's wishes, unless this is part of the plan. Like, did Carol install the knowledge of, you know, all this stuff into her brain to give her the knowledge to kind of betray her, essentially, and did all this on purpose. Getting them to Ardane's legacy is something she wants to happen. Or, I don't know. Maybe there's, like, activating that relic is the key to something that she needs, and she doesn't have the technology to do it, so she gets it in the hands of these people who, you know, build it into a weapon that then she can utilize. I guess we'll find out. Maybe that's also part of her goal in deactivating 2 of our characters' gears, is because now they really have to get this relic working because they're very limited. But can they even do that? Like, if they can't get relics that are almost complete turned into, like, these crystals that can be used as gear, can you even do it with this, like, raw relic? Like, it seems like that's something that you also need Ryoko to do, right? So, unfortunately, it seems like Ryoko is really the backbone of this organization. Like, you know, they need someone who is capable of fixing these things, because this isn't good that as soon as they break down, they you know, they're dead in the water now, right? So I wonder what all that's gonna, like, what's gonna happen. But yeah, man, I gotta admit, like, don't get me wrong, last season was good and all, but this season is killing it for me right now. Like, I'm enjoying this far more than I enjoyed last season in, like, the first 3 episodes, I will say. Like, I love what we got out of last season. Like, I love the characters, Maria, Kirika, and Shirabe. Like, they're really cool characters and everything. So I'm really glad we had that story arc so we could gain these characters in our character arsenal. But yeah, overall, I wasn't a big fan of Ver as a villain, whereas Carol, I'm very intrigued, and these auto scores and everything. I want to learn more of this homunculus and everything. It's like it's really fascinating to me. So, but yeah, I think that's really all I have to talk about for this one. But I just really love it. I'm excited, guys. So, anyway, that's going to be it for me. Hit that subscribe button if you guys enjoyed. Check out my Patreon if you want to see more from me. As usual, the link is in the description below, or it should be popping up on the screen. Get all kinds of extra stuff if you check that out, and supports me in what I do here, so I very much appreciate it. And I will see you guys in my future reactions. Bye-bye.